That was Mariah Will Always Be My Baby. So I ran across some interesting stats, and it was talking about the makeup of the population of the United States of America. And basically, it says that 21% of Americans are illiterate. That is roughly 52 million adults. 54% of Americans can't read beyond the level of an 11-year-old. So that is about 141 million adults. 57% of Americans have no education past high school. I should sit that one out, right? I should sit that one out. And America ranks 36th in the world for literacy levels. White U.S.-born adults are the largest group with low literacy. And it's interesting because you contrast that with the most educated segment of our society, which is black women, right? The most college educated. And I bring that all up to say they have a certain perception of this. You know, have you ever heard yourself on a recording of some type, and that's because, and you sound so different? That's because you hear yourself from the inside out. Everybody hears you from the outside in, right? Right? Morgan Wallen's doing Saturday Night Live. You know, the country star, biggest country star in the world, for a bit of a huge star for a few years. Said, nigga, remember that? And then they stopped playing him, and then record sales soared. Like, it was almost, niggas helped him out. Like, so he's doing Saturday Night Live. After he's finished, he gets on his private plane. He says, I'm going back to God's country. And it's interesting because I would imagine he would say God's country is Tennessee, right? That's what he goes back to, right? And every time I hear somebody, a white person, talking about where places God lives, it's always a place where a lot of other people don't. It's not a lot of diversity there. But whenever I hear somebody say God lives here, this is God's country, I know that compassion doesn't. I know that kindness generally doesn't. I know that, you know, like when he left Manhattan to go to Tennessee, Tennessee's crime rate is 60% higher than the national average. The literacy rate is very low. Look at the legislation that is coming out of God's country. The fact that the Klan was started in Pulaski, God's country, Tennessee, right? That it was started by Nathan Bedford Forrest on a day before Christmas, right? So I don't know if God truly lives where they say he does. I don't know, because everything they seem to talk about, or the things that seem to be important to them, never seem to be Christ or God-like. Now, they want you to go to church. They want to tell you how to live and who to worship. But look at the places where they say God lives and the legislation that's commensurate with that. Look at what they say and the things they do. So God lives there? If God lived there, he would probably have it as an Airbnb. I mean, he might have it as a rental property. But there's no evidence of God living there if the people are so ungodlike. Like, look at the infant mortality rate. Look at mothers, and look at the health of the people. Look at the literacy of the people. Where they say God lives, where they always talking about this is God's country, God lives here, it leads the country in pornography, it leads the country in teenage pregnancy, it leads the country in sexually transmitted disease. So isn't it funny that they say the place that is the Bible Belt where God lives, it's the Bible Belt. The belt seems to come unbuckled a lot. If God lives there and you see him and you know that this is evidence of God, why do the people who live where they say God lives seem so intolerant? Why does their legislation seem so cruel? Why are they always telling you about who they are? And the interesting thing is, he was safer in Manhattan than when he landed in Tennessee. So if God lives there, I bet he's looking for a real estate agent. This little note from the GED section got the JAD report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.